So you're thinking about moving to Belgrade, Montana? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to cover in this video. It's not all sunshine and clear blue skies. There are some negatives, so I want to make sure that you are well prepared before you get here on what to expect. So we'll be going over some of those pros and cons and some things that might take a little bit of adjustment or might be a little bit of a shock depending on where you're coming from. So we'll be talking about Belgrade, Montana, as well as Southwest Montana in general here. So let's get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living here in Belgrade, Montana, Bozeman, Montana, really nearby, or other areas in Southwest Montana like Three Forks, Ennis, Big Sky, and Livingston, then be sure to subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know about our current market here in Southwest Montana. My name is Hallie, and I get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move here in Southwest Montana, and I absolutely love it. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, just give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I would be honored to help you find your place here in Southwest Montana. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be talking about Belgrade, Montana, some of those positives and negatives. First and foremost is schools. So according to several different websites like niche.com and greatschools.org, they are very highly rated. So you can certainly go check out a little bit more detail on those specifically if you'd like on those websites. But they are pretty highly rated, and there are 5 public schools. 3 of them are elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. And of course, right over in Bozeman, Montana is where you're going to find Montana State University. It's a great school, pretty diverse course catalog, so there's a lot of different options depending on what you might be looking for, or maybe you have, soon to be a college student and you're curious about the area. Montana State is a great school with a lot of different options, everything from architecture and to agriculture, arts, and engineering. So definitely worth taking a look at that. And of course, with that comes, all of the great college hosted events and things done at the university. There's the Montana State football, of course, and basketball, and a lot of other things going on there. So really great culture and everything around that school opportunity as well. Now, Belgrade itself has a great small town feel. It's a vibrant community of just about 10,000, so it is on the smaller side, but it is really close, like I said, to Bozeman, which has about another 50,000, and then the county as a whole has about 100,000 people. And so, you've got everybody kind of spread out, everybody's got some space, you're not on top of each other on the parks or the trails. You can still get out and find some solitude, or be on your own a little bit and go adventure, even on some of the more popular spots like Highlight Canyon and Reservoir, where there's some great hiking trails. You're still not going to feel it doesn't feel overcrowded, so it's a really nice area. And Belgrade even more so than Bozeman, probably just because it is a little bit smaller and it's got its own downtown and dining and everything there. Now, as I mentioned, the county as a whole has about 100,000. That is including, Bozeman, Manhattan, Belgrade, and Gallatin Gateway, parts of Big Sky, and some other smaller communities as well. But even with all these small communities and Bozeman, one of the things that it tends to be a bit of a con is there's not a lot of shopping. It's very limited in terms of clothing and specialty stores, things like that. So a lot of people do their online shopping, or maybe when they travel, things like that, because we just don't have a lot of that here in the Gallatin County or in the Valley generally. Now, on that same note, of course, Belgrade is also growing. I've talked in some of my other videos about Bozeman, Montana, also experiencing a lot of growth, but some people would even say that Belgrade has experienced more growth. There's a lot of new neighborhoods coming in or being developed, a lot of new homes, and quite honestly, the demand is still exceeding the supply right now. So it's still a very in-demand place, and it's been really cool to see how Belgrade has handled some of that growth and some of the developments that they've got planned. Really fantastic locations and views, and absolutely really cool homes as well. So with that, housing is definitely something worth touching on. It is more expensive, or a little bit higher median price point than the national average, but it is not as high as Bozeman. Bozeman definitely has a higher median home price. Right now, according to bestplaces.net, the median home price in Belgrade is around $472. What I've been able to find through my MLS is closer to about $530,000. I'm sure it depends on the different home types that you're looking at and things like that. But it is a bit higher, like I said, than the national average, but not as high as Bozeman. So that gives you the opportunity to potentially live in Belgrade and commute to Bozeman, or a lot of people select Belgrade because they really like Belgrade in and of itself and have a great job there. So that brings me to our next topic, which is jobs. So there are more and more high-paying jobs coming to Belgrade itself. And then, of course, you have the opportunity to live where you love and work remotely. I also recently did a video kind of touring around Belgrade, showing you some of the views and some different homes and different price points. So be sure to check that out as well if you're curious about Belgrade. Another con with Belgrade being on the smaller side, of course, is there's a pretty significant lack of public transportation. We do have the Streamlined bus, which has a limited, routes and schedules that do go to Belgrade. It's based in Bozeman. But other than that, it's a pretty vehicle dependent area in general. And that goes for the entirety of Gallatin County, the Gallatin Valley overall. There's not a lot of public transportation throughout the area. Now, one thing that can be both a pro and a con is there's no sales tax. So when you're purchasing something, whether it's the groceries or you're buying a car, it's kind of nice. The price you see is the price you get. There's no additional sales tax on top of that. Where that becomes maybe a con is that there's property taxes that kind of make up for that. So it isn't the lowest property tax state, but from what I have learned, it is also not the highest property tax state. So definitely something to keep in mind with a little bit of a different tax setup here. So one really great thing about Belgrade as well is that, it's got this small community feel that I've mentioned. People around you really know and care about you. And Belgrade has done a great job putting on various events so that you can get out and meet people, meet your neighbors, and get to have that community feel. There's the Festival of Lights during the holidays in the winter. Of course, there's the farmers markets at the park in the summer, and plenty of other little things going on, parades and whatnot. Yes, of course, Bozeman is nearby and has some events as well, but Belgrade has really come together, and there's a great community feel with those events and being able to get out and know your neighbors, know the people who live around you. Of course, Montana is known for the rugged beauty here with the mountains and valleys and everything, and Belgrade is no different. So this whole Gallatin Valley is surrounded by mountains. That includes Manhattan, Belgrade, Bozeman, and other smaller communities, but we're surrounded by, there's the Tobacco Roots, the Spanish Peaks, the Gallatin Range, and of course the Bridgers. In fact, Belgrade boasts some of the best views of the Bridgers in the entire valley. And I do have several other videos touching on some of those other areas, so be sure to check those out if you want to see some more of that beauty, some more of the views, as well as, the area overall. And of course, that means that there is an absolute plethora of opportunity to get outside and enjoy those mountains. Everything from climbing, mountain biking, dirt biking, snowmobiling, skiing, camping, you name it. There's really no limits. It's an absolute outdoor playground. And some of the best trout fly fishing in the country, from what I understand. So if you enjoy the outdoors, you want to get outside, go hunting, do some of those other things, Southwest Montana is an absolute wonderful place to do that. And I cannot say enough about getting out hiking in the springtime and seeing some of those wildflowers blooming across the fields. It's an absolute, it's surreal sometimes, the scenery that we get to live in here. So that wraps up everything you need to know about the up and downsides of living in or around Belgrade, Montana, here in the Gallatin Valley and Southwest Montana overall. When you're here, it is so easy to see why people love it here, and more people are discovering the beauty here in Southwest Montana. I hope you found value in this video, and again, whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, just give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I would be honored to help you find your place here in Belgrade or any of the surrounding areas here in Southwest Montana. And with that, I hope to see you around town.